When you hear the word grammar, does your head start to hurt? Do you think about confusing textbooks and long, boring rules you can never seem to remember?
Oh, absolutely. It is my biggest fear in learning English.
I understand. But what if I told you that you could learn English grammar naturally without memorizing a single rule? Today, we're going to show you the natural way to learn grammar, a method that focuses on how we actually use the language for speaking.
Wait, really? No more memorizing verb tables.
No more. By the end of this video, you will not only understand this new method, but you will also have the confidence to use correct grammar in your daily conversations. You'll finally learn how to make grammar automatic so you can speak English fluently and stop translating in your head.
That sounds like a dream. So, what's the plan?
It's simple. First, we're going to change how you think about grammar. It is not about rules. It is about patterns. Then we'll practice 3 core patterns for your daily conversations about your habits, your past, and your future. And finally, we will show you how to sound more natural and fix the most common mistakes. Ready to learn grammar without studying?
I am so ready. Let's do it.
Okay, Ben, before we start, I want you to be honest. Tell me about your experience with learning grammar from a textbook.
It is terrible, Ava. I spent a whole month studying the present perfect. I did all the exercises. I got 95% on the test. I knew the rule has I have plus past participle. I could write it perfectly.
That sounds great. So, what was the problem?
The next day, I was talking to my American friend, and I wanted to tell him I had visited New York before. My brain just froze. I was thinking, okay, this is a past action with present relevance. So use present perfect subject. I have visited. By the time I figured it all out, the conversation had moved on. All that studying was useless for speaking.
Thank you for sharing that, Ben. And to everyone watching, does this sound familiar? You know the rules, but your mouth won't work. This is the most common problem, and it is not your fault. It is the method's fault.
So, what's the right method? How do we fix this?
We need a complete mindset shift. Think about it like this: learning to drive a car. When you learn to drive, does the instructor first teach you how the engine works? Do they make you memorize every part of the transmission?
No, of course not. They put you in the driver's seat and say, press this pedal to go, press this one to stop, turn the wheel. You learn by doing.
Exactly. You don't need to be a mechanic to be an excellent driver, and you don't need to be a linguist to be a fluent English speaker. Trying to remember grammar rules while speaking is like trying to build the engine while you're driving on the highway. It is impossible.
So you're saying we should just drive the car, we should just speak?
We should learn the patterns for driving, not the engineering diagrams. In English, this means we stop looking at single words and start learning complete phrases or chunks.
Chunks? What do you mean by chunks?
A chunk is a group of words that native speakers often use together. They are like a single piece of vocabulary. For example, we don't think, I am going to. We think of I'm going to as one block, one sound. Your brain should treat it like one word.
So instead of picking 4 separate words and putting them together with a rule, I just memorized the whole phrase, I'm going to.
Precisely. You learn the pattern, you learn the chunk. This is the secret to natural English grammar. Your brain doesn't have to work so hard. It just picks the right chunk for the right situation. This is how you achieve grammar for speaking. Let's try it right now. It's very simple. I will say a common chunk, and I want you, Ben, and everyone at home to just listen and repeat. Don't think about the rules. Just feel the music of the phrase. Ready?
Ready.
I need to.
I need to.
I want to.
I want to.
I have to.
I have to.
Great. Now, notice how those feel. They are a single unit. They create a smooth start to any sentence. You just add an action. I need to go. I want to eat. I have to study. See, no rules, just patterns.
Wow, that does feel much simpler. My brain isn't hurting.
Okay, Ben, now that we understand the idea of chunks, let's use it in a real conversation. We'll start with something easy, talking about our daily habits or routines.
Okay, so this is where we would normally learn the present simple tense, right?
Exactly, but we're going to forget that name completely. We are not studying rules. We are learning one simple, powerful pattern. The chunk is, I usually. Just repeat that for me.
I usually.
Perfect. This little phrase is the key to talking about all your normal activities. Your brain just needs to grab this chunk and add an action. For example, I usually wake up at 7. I usually drink coffee. It is a plug and play system for natural English grammar.
Plug and play. I like that. It sounds much less intimidating.
Let's try it. We'll have a mini conversation. Imagine we just met at a coffee shop. I'll start. So, Ben, tell me, what is your typical morning like? Try to use our new pattern.
Okay, let's see. I usually wake up around 7:30.
Great start. What is next?
After that, I usually check my emails on my phone for a few minutes. Then I usually go to the kitchen and make a big cup of tea.
Fantastic! See how smooth that was. You didn't stop to think about third person singular or any rules. You just used the pattern. Now you ask me.
Okay, what about you, Ava? What do you usually do in the morning?
I usually start my day with a short walk outside. After that, I usually spend about 15 minutes reading a book before I start work.
Wow, that really does feel easier. It just flows.
Exactly. It is all about flow. And now we want to hear from you. It is your turn to practice. In the comments below, tell us about your morning. What is the first thing you do after you wake up?
Yeah, let us know. Start your sentence with, I'm really curious to see what everyone's routine is. Let's fill the comments with this powerful pattern.
Okay, that pattern is perfect for habits. But what if we want to talk about something that is finished? Something that happened yesterday.
Oh, here we go. The past tense. This is where it gets complicated with all the regular and irregular verbs. My nightmare.
Forget all of that. We're not going to memorize lists. We're going to focus on one thing, the sound of the past. The new pattern is simply yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Now, just listen. For most actions in the past, we add a little suddy T or deed sound at the end of the action word. Listen, cook becomes cooked. Watch becomes watched. Play becomes played. We're training our ears, not our memory for rules. This is how you learn grammar without studying. You absorb the sounds.
So I just need to connect the word yesterday with that ed sound at the end of the action.
You've got it. That's the entire secret. And to make this automatic, we can use something I call trigger words. These are words that signal to your brain which pattern to use.
What are some of these trigger words for the past?
Simple ones you already know. Words like yesterday, last night, last week, on Saturday, 2 days ago. When you think of one of these words, your brain should automatically reach for the past sound pattern.
Oh, I see. It is like a mental shortcut. The trigger word is the question, and the grammar pattern is the answer. Last night triggers. Watched a movie. Last week triggers. Visited my friend.
Yes, that is the core of grammar for speaking. You're not applying a rule, you're reacting to a trigger. This is how you build the speed you need for real conversations and finally improve your English speaking skills. All right, Ben, let's practice our new past tense pattern. Let's talk about our weekend. I'll use a trigger word to start. So, what did you do last Saturday?
Okay, let me try. Last Saturday, I cleaned my apartment. Then I cooked dinner for my friend.
Perfect. You added the sound. What did you cook?
I cooked pasta. We watched a new movie after dinner. It was really good. How about you, Ava? What did you do last weekend?
Last weekend, I visited my family. We talked for hours and played some board games. It was very relaxing.
See, when I focus on the trigger word last weekend and the ed sound, I don't even think about the grammar rule. It just happens.
That is the goal. Automatic English grammar. Okay, we've covered habits and the past. Now for the final core pattern, the future. How do we talk about our plans?
I know this one, I will or I am going to, but it is always confusing which one to use. Another one of those tricky rules.
Let S make it simple. For 90% of your daily conversations about future plans, one chunk is all you need. And we're going to treat it like a single word. The chunk is I am going to.
I'm going to.
But native speakers don't say it like that. It is too slow. We crush it together into one sound, I'm gonna. Can you try that?
I'm gonna.
Faster, make it one smooth sound, like a piece of music. I'm gonna.
I'm gonna.
Yes, that is the sound of the future in natural English speaking. Your brain should hear I'm gonna as one single vocabulary item, just like the word tomorrow. Let's drill this to make it automatic. I'll say the formal version, you say the natural, fast version. Ready?
Ready.
I am going to watch a movie.
I'm gonna watch a movie.
I am going to call my mom.
I'm gonna call my mom.
I am going to make dinner.
I'm gonna make dinner.
Excellent! You've just learned the most common way to talk about future plans without thinking about a single grammar rule. You just learned a new piece of vocabulary, I'm gonna. Now, Ben, we have our 3 core patterns for habits, past and future. This is where most students still get stuck because of one major mistake. Mental translation.
You mean thinking in my native language first and then translating word for word into English?
Exactly. It is the number one killer of fluency. It is slow, it is exhausting, and it creates unnatural sentences. Let's do a little role play. Ben, I want you to imagine you are at a party and you want to ask someone, how long have you been learning English? But I want you to try to translate it from your native language. Just show us what happens in your head.
Okay, in my language, the structure is different. It is like, you learn English. How long time? So I would probably say, you learn English, how long does that work?
People would probably understand you, but it sounds very unnatural, and you can feel the hesitation, right? Your brain was working so hard to build the sentence.
Yes, it was so slow, I was searching for words.
Here is the solution, and it is the core of our entire lesson today. Do not translate the words. Learn the entire chunk. The correct natural question is a single piece of music. How long have you been learning English?
How long have you been learning English?
Yes, you should memorize that entire phrase just like you would memorize the word hello. It is a tool. When you need to ask that question, you don't build it. You just grab the whole tool from your memory toolbox.
So for common questions and phrases, I shouldn't even try to understand the grammar. I just memorize the whole block of words.
For now, yes. This is how you learn grammar without studying rules. You absorb the correct, complete patterns first. The understanding of the deep grammar will come later, naturally after you've used the chunk 100 times. Fluency first, analysis later. Okay, Ben, let's take this chunking idea one step further into what makes someone sound like a native. It is not just about the words, it is about the music. Natural grammar has a rhythm.
A rhythm. What do you mean?
In English, we don't give every word the same importance. We stress the most important content words like verbs and nouns, and we say the grammar words like to, very quickly and softly. This creates a beat. For example, in our future chunk, I'm gonna go to the store. The beat is on go and store.
I'm gonna go to the store. I hear it now. The to thee is very small and fast.
Exactly. Someone who is translating in their head might say, I am going to the store. Every word has the same stress. It is grammatically correct, but it sounds robotic. To sound natural, you need to learn the rhythm of the chunk, not just the words. This is the next level of natural English grammar.
So learning the chunks also means learning their music. That is a huge insight. It makes it feel more like an art than a science.
It really is, and it is a journey. On that note, we'd love to hear about your personal experience with this. What is the one sentence or question you always struggle to translate from your native language into English?
Be honest. Share it in the comments. Maybe we can see a common pattern and help each other find the right English chunk for it. It is a great way for us all to learn together.
All right, let's do a quick review before our final challenge. We solved the problem of grammar being boring and difficult by forgetting the rules and focusing on patterns. We learned 3 core chunks for your daily conversations. What were they, Ben?
Okay, first, for habits, we use the pattern, I usually.
Perfect. Second,
For the past, we use a trigger word like yesterday, and we add the "ed" sound to the action.
excellent. And third,
For our future plans, we use the natural fast chunk, I'm gonna.
exactly. Habits, past, and future. With just these 3 simple patterns, you can handle a huge part of everyday English conversation without ever thinking about a grammar rule. Now, for the final test, Ben, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, one after another, and they will switch between the past, the present, and the future. The goal is to answer smoothly without pausing to think about grammar. Just let your brain grab the right chunk. Ready?
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Question 1. What did you do last night?
Last night, I watched a documentary on Netflix.
Great! Question 2. What do you usually do on weekends?
I usually meet up with my friends. We like to try new cafes.
Nice. And question 3, what are your plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna finish a project for work, and then I'm gonna cook a nice dinner.
Ben, that was perfect. Do you feel the difference? Your answers were fast, natural, and correct. You switched between tenses flawlessly because you weren't thinking about tenses. You were just using the right pattern for the right trigger word.
I really felt it. My brain just went last night, okay, past pattern, tomorrow, okay, future pattern. It was automatic. This really works.
And it can work for you too. Thank you so much for joining us today and learning this new natural way to master English grammar. The secret is to stop being a grammar scientist and start being a grammar collector, collecting phrases, chunks, and patterns from the English you hear every day.
It is all about changing your mindset. You can do this.
Now, for your homework, we want you to activate what you learned today. Your micro assignment is this. In the comments below, write one sentence about your plans for this coming weekend using the I'm gonna pattern.
Tell us one fun thing you're going to do. I'm going to read all of your plans. It is a great way to check in and hold yourself accountable.
And if you found this no rules approach to grammar helpful and you want more lessons that help you speak English with confidence, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Every week, we release a new deep dive lesson just like this one, designed to help you stop studying English and start using it.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep practicing your chunks.
See you in the next video. Bye!